Welcome back, everyone. It's the one that counts. It's the final race of round 3 in the Pat's Acres Super Series Summer Rental League. So if you've watched the prior 2 videos, you'll know that I did not have great races. I am starting way in the back of the pack. I think 3rd, maybe 4th or 5th to the last out of 29. Granted, not everybody out here is in my class. There's rookies, there's heavies, and there's even some pro class drivers out there tonight. But still, I got my work cut out for me. So, getting into the cart, out on the warm-up lap, I'm feeling very, very good. I can tell that my cart is feeling good. Both left and right turns are feeling solid. Acceleration feels good. One of the biggest things I've noticed that changes cart to cart is actually the brakes. And some brakes are more like an on and off switch. Other brakes have a little bit more modulation, like I'm used to in my own cart. But yeah, so usually on the warm-up lap, that's one of the things I'm feeling for. I'm locking up intentionally just to feel where that bite point is, and then doing a few hard brakes just below that lock-up threshold. Really just preparing for turn 3 on the first lap, where being good on the brakes is critical. Here as we come to the start-finish line, you'll see the red flag flying there. They decided not to fly the green. I'm not exactly sure why. There might have been a cart that died on the out lap. Not totally sure, but we're going to skip the video ahead to the next go-round. Okay, so now we're approaching the final corner, about to start this race again. So feeling good, really excited to see what I can do here. I do really enjoy passing, and unfortunately they red flagged the start again. Again, not totally sure why that happened, but it's all good. We just will be very practiced at starting, or at least getting to the point of starting. Alright, so 3rd time's the charm. We will go green after this. So, yeah, excited to get going. So, hard to stick with the pack. There's a lot of speeding up and slowing down. You can see a pretty big gap there. I'm trying to close that gap. There's the green flag. I get a good jump on the guy in front of me. Able to make up that position. I noticed nobody was on the inside, so I dropped down to the inside line. Made up another position there. Really lucked out with that inside line there. So far so good. Quite a lot of chaos there going into the turn 3, like 5 wide, people sliding out all over. There's my wife, Jenna. She's having a good race. So yeah, quite a hectic first couple turns. Worked in my favor though so far. I've made up about 5 positions. Here just trying to make a move on my wife. And there we go. Through the carousel. So being on the outside right here is pretty hard to pass going into the final corner. The best way you can do it, or the best that I've found, is to try to do a little bit of an over-under. So brake a little bit earlier than the driver on the inside, hope that they carry too much speed on their inside entry, and go wide, and then you can beat them on the exit. Worked out for me, had a little bit more of a clean exit than the other driver, and made up the position. So you can see I'm feeling really good with this cart. It's lots of grip, both left and right, and quite a bit of top end, so I'm pretty stoked and encouraged here. Hoping to have a good race. Alright, as we come around River 2, just trying to figure out where I can find a gap. And again, I go to this outside. There's nowhere really to go because you can easily cover the inside line coming out of carousel. Didn't work out for me there, just file in behind. Gonna draft down the main straight. Absolutely beautiful sunset, by the way. Here you can see I have a good amount of speed, able to go up the inside into turn 1 and make that move stick. Not sure what happened there, but this driver here in the black and red helmet went wide. Managed to follow him through and made up another position. Able to go up the inside and make up another position. And yeah, that's a good couple laps for me. I'm pretty excited, considering how poorly Heat 1 and 2 went for me. Alright, going into River 2 and then into the carousel, I'm feeling locked down. I'm putting in quick laps, and I'm just looking to pick off as many people as I possibly can. See, pretty good exit on the final corner. A little bit of a shaky movement there, so a little bit at a disadvantage, but I am able to make up the speed into turn 1 and go up the inside. Alright, so now I'm starting to get a little, not nervous, but I'm realizing that I'm starting to make it towards the front. I recognize some of these drivers as being fast drivers and way ahead of me in the grid when we started, so honestly, if I just finished here, I would be pretty stoked thus far. So I'm going to follow these guys around, see what I can do, see if there's any gaps. Thought that we were going to be able to just follow through the carousel, but behind the yellow wasn't quite enough speed there to make the overtake. And able to go up the inside, and we're alongside down the front straight. Now, there's not really anywhere for me to go. I'm just going to stay on the inside, lift a little bit early so I don't carry too much speed, given that I'm entering the corner pretty narrow, and it works out. A little opportunistic move there, compromised my exit, and as you can see, the guy in the green shirt was able to go up my inside. Don't know what happened there to the driver in the orange helmet. Just for some reason was able to get a good exit out of that corner and beat him through River 1 and 2, but we are alongside each other right now. That was I felt bad about that a little bit. Wasn't much I could do, kind of just came down and touched bumpers, but you know, that kind of stuff was happening all night. So big gap to the drivers ahead. I'm just going to try to put my head down and put in as fast of laps as I possibly can. Thankfully, because we had 2 qualifying sessions, quote-unquote qualifying sessions, we got quite a bit of lap time today, so able to feel out the line, feel where there's grip on the track where there wasn't, and just feeling very comfortable. It's actually pretty surprising how different this track drives when the conditions change. I think I've previously mentioned how the sun setting can actually drastically impact how much grip there is on the track, or reduce the amount of grip substantially. But when it's warm like it is this evening, you know, there's quite a bit of grip there. So always having to figure out exactly what the conditions are that day and what your kart can do in any given session. So able to make up a little bit of ground here, as you will see, on the driver ahead. Took about 2 laps or so to get up on his bumper, and now I'm looking for the pass. Thought about going up the inside there. Didn't think I had enough speed in order to make that a clean pass. So just decided to stick behind through River 1 and 2. Going to the carousel, again, I almost saw the gap. Didn't quite see it open for me, but I managed to stick the inside out of the carousel and stay on that inside for the final corner. A little bit of a hairy situation there with the driver ahead sliding a bit out of the final corner right in front of me, but all is well. We'll see green shirt again. Got a good run on me. Able to pass me down front straight into 1 and 2. This driver's quick. He was quick all day, so good racing, and yeah, onward. All right. So I've passed this driver once. I know I can do it. There you'll see he dipped a wheel into the dirt, which can compromise your grip. So now I'm looking to see if he's going to go wide anywhere. Holds it together quite well through the carousel. Nowhere for me to go. But he opens up the inside line here. Nope, not quite. Back out of it. Alright, I believe we were side by side at this point. Looks like, yeah, it took a pretty narrow entry there. Just trying to keep him behind me. Take a little bit of a narrow inside entry to turn 3's hairpin, just to not open the door wide open. And about right now, I'm feeling pretty safe. So I'm just, again, going to put my head down and try to close down that gap to the group ahead. And at this point is when I recognize the helmet of one of the drivers up there as the guy I am just 10 points behind in the championships. He's won the last 2 races, and I had a second place finish and a third place finish. So we're pretty close in the standings, and so I wasn't really sure where we were like in the final order of things, but I knew I just wanted to try to get in front of him at least, get a little bit more points. But given the amount of passes that I've been able to pull off so far, I was thinking we were pretty far ahead on the grid, so I was feeling pretty happy about that. So one thing to note here is the driver up ahead with the red or orange shirt on, he is in the pro class, so you'll see him point me by on the final lap, and that's the reason. They were told in advance not to impede any of the open class drivers, and he did great by pointing me through, so really appreciative of that, but that explains why he just points me through and moves off to the side here. Alright, so these guys are quick, just trying to close down the gap and hoping that they're fighting with each other a little bit more to slow themselves down so I can catch them, which is exactly what happens. They start to jockey back and forth, and that gives me an opportunity to close down the gap with some fast laps. Carousel, just trying to get a good run here, see what I can do down the main straight. Right on the bumpers now. Good, all 4 of us get a good exit. About all the same. Here's the white flag, and there's where the driver points me through. Alright, so the driver right ahead with the white helmet, he is in my class, and he's the guy that's just ahead of me in the championship. And unfortunately, we're going to tangle here in a couple corners. It's 100% not my fault. However, the track marshals felt otherwise, and unbeknownst to me, gave me a 3-position penalty. So you'll see right here, look, Emmanuel goes to the inside, locks up himself, and then I have nowhere to go. So I admit that didn't look good probably from other points on the track, but the lap traffic just got in the way. And unfortunately, Emmanuel locked up, and there was nowhere for me to go. Just all of a sudden, he was sideways. So here I am taking P1 in the open class, in the checkered flag. Again, I wasn't really sure if I won or not at this moment, but yeah, kind of an unfortunate series of events. I had no idea that there was any penalty. They didn't fly a black and checkered flag, which usually indicates that there's a penalty in the top positions. Once we got off the track, I didn't hear any talk about a penalty. They didn't make any attempt to find me and get my perspective on it. I even ended up, talking with Emmanuel, the guy that locked up right in front of me afterwards. I was like, hey, the lap traffic, that was a terrible way to end the race, and everything seemed fine. But yeah, I didn't find out until the podium ceremony when they called somebody else's name for P1, and I was really confused. So talked to the race director afterwards. He admitted that they probably did mess up, and they couldn't find me because they didn't know what I looked like, I guess. So I don't know. It is what it is, but hey, there's always next race. Thanks, everyone.